Davie Portman for Poisonrana. You found us on whatever podcast app you're using, Spotify, Apple Music, I don't know, what other, Stitcher?
Podcast Addict.
Google Play.
YouTube.
YouTube.com/@PoisonRanaPod.
Let you do it today.
Yeah, look at that. Plugging away.
Sharing away.
It's Sunday. It's the Frogs Day. Hello, everybody. Or maybe you're listening to this on a Monday, on a Tuesday. Maybe you're listening to this 3 years in the future. I don't know. But hello and welcome to Poisonrana. We are Braden and Davie, and we're going to chat about some pro wrestling here today.
A whole lot of wrestling,
That's right. Lots and lots of new. The wrestling never stops. So we're always here to talk about it. And yeah, how you doing?
Pretty good. Yeah.
It's a Sunday.
Come off a busy weekend at the bar, working hard.
Summertime.
Yeah. Been having a good summer so far. Been, going to some concerts. Went to Drom a couple of times this week, just seeing some like cool bands there.
It's Canadian Music Week here in the city, so we did we salsa again this week?
We salsa'd this week. Yeah, the country was burning down.
The country's burning down. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, sorry New Yorkers. I know that everyone was just really mad at Canada for us burning down.
Let's see who has the most emissions though, maybe, before blaming Canada, right?
Blame Canada.
Yeah.
It's always blame Canada, but yeah, I loved watching all the New Yorkers. Oh, hey, Canada. Hey, you guys are on fire. It's like, yeah, but if we want to get into it, guys, you guys do a lot worse.
Yeah.
But sorry, because it did look scary.
Oh yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. Like, kind of like, especially that first day, almost like a sepia tone filter over the city, and it looked way worse in New York as well, especially. So
it was
things
actually
seem to be a bit better now.
All the smoke was just coming from our apartment.
Yeah. It didn't stop us barbecuing, did it? Like we weren't really helping the cause.
Yeah, we were barbecuing one of the days, and we were like, should we be outside right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, hopefully everyone out there can breathe properly. Hope the smoke is going away. The fires are still going on. So
look, I've just been seeing like so many fire engines in the city as well.
Yeah.
Just keep on going.
So they're saying there's more fires in the city.
I mean, it's only going to get hotter, isn't it? Like that's the thing. Not even like this has all happened, and it's not even July yet. Like it's a worry for sure.
So if you're coming to Toronto for Forbidden Door weekend, make sure you bring
fire retardant clothes.
Yeah, just in case. I don't know. Yeah. It could get really.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Yeah. It's summertime now. It's kind of not that summery today. I mean, it's nice out, but it's like kind of gray.
It's warm but gray. Yeah. It did say it was meant to like pour with rain all day, and so far it hasn't really. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah,
I've just been enjoying that like there's a reason the vitamin D and all that they say is the sun is good for you. Like as soon as the summer hits, my mood is just drastically different. Like it in the winter time. I mean, we're in Canada. We have seasons here. It's like sometimes I find it so hard to just get myself like out of bed to do anything, but in the summer it's like I can just walk.
That really helps. Like I feel my energy levels have been great. Like in last like couple of weeks been busy, been doing a lot of stuff, been going out a lot, been having a lot of fun, but like still being like winter you do that and then the next day work just sucks, and I felt pretty good.
I've just been enjoying it, and it definitely like changes how my mood is and stuff. So I don't know, wintertime I feel more grumpy. And now I'm just like, yes, I want to do things. I want to go on bike rides and go to concerts. You have tickets for Shaggy this week?
I do, yeah. I do.
Shaggy and TLC.
I don't know what the crew is yet, but like,
yeah,
I picked up 2.
I noticed that. So the night after at Bud is Alexis on Fire. I'm going to that. But then the night before TLC,
The Cure
is The Cure. Yeah. So I'm like, fuck, there's 3 nights of concerts in a row there. But damn. So maybe I'll go to Shaggy TLC. I still have to work like those days, so I'm like, oh man. But we'll see. There's gonna be some other ones this summer.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Including lots of wrestling that we're gonna be going to. Yes. Obviously, we've been talking about for weeks now that we have a whole busy summer. We're going to SummerSlam in the D. We are doing, obviously, Forbidden Pour and then All In as well. So, obviously, anyone going to any of those shows, let us know because we will be doing meetups.
Forbidden Pour, our tickets are selling really well. So, go get them before it's too late. Postwrestling.com/live. it's coming up soon. Like when we first sort of booked this, it felt, we got ages. And now I'm like, oh shit, it's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So literally 2 weeks today. So super excited for that. People are still buying these tickets, and it's gonna be a party that day. We've kind of signed off on the cocktails, on the food items. We're gonna start preparing our trivia games. Thinking of those questions for John Way at the Q&A. It's gonna be a great full day of wrestling.
It's gonna be a great day of wrestling, and we might see a title change.
We might,
because I don't know if MJF's got the title on the line, but that's not important, because Fire Frank is gonna be in the 6, our BDE champion. If you are a fan of Roman Reigns' 1,000-day reign, I mean, this guy's been champion for longer, probably. I think.
Maybe not quite, but he's getting there. He's getting there.
He's up there.
He is up there. He's kind of on, like, he's between like Gunther and Roman.
Right. Oh, Gunther was celebrating the year today.
Gunther's celebrating the year. Okay,
posted a picture with a cigar and a glass of
we need to do the graphic where it goes like like Pedro Morales, Fire Frank, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. CM Punk.
Someone do the math. Someone in the YouTube room now.
Just 1,000 days. Just give
hello YouTube room. Mike, Chris, cool gang.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So anyone in Toronto coming to Forbidden Pour, I mean, you have the opportunity to walk out as BD champion, because we're going to make him defend the title.
We got to figure out what kind of gauntlet we can put Fire Frank through.
It does not matter.
I'm thinking a scramble match.
For those who are like, I don't know,
like have the title change multiple times, and then Frank in the last second,
he'd still win
the question.
So like, yeah, we've been doing, like, during the pandemic, we did these like trivia games on Twitch and YouTube. The old shows are up there somewhere, but he's just unstoppable when it comes to like WWE trivia. Specifically WWE. So like there's the weakness for anyone out there.
There is, and this isn't a WWE show we're going to that
so weekend. Maybe, with the New Japan inspiration there, that could probably throw him off.
I think this could be like his toughest test yet.
Imagine that, like he's on this like 1,000-day reign, and then you do a cross-promoted show, and someone from New Japan takes the title.
You just go name all of just 5 guys.
He wouldn't be able to. He's no way. Yeah, he wouldn't be able to do that. I don't think I could. So yeah, Fire Frank's gonna be defending the title. How and in what, we're not sure, but Frank, you're coming, so just be prepared.
Yeah, we've gone to our writers committee. We're coming together.
The writers are on strike though.
Yeah. That's why we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing. So someone potentially could be walking out as the new BD champion, or we'll still have Fire Frank. However, also at the Forbidden Pour, someone's walking out IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, because somehow, some way, we're going to be doing some games with some fun prizes, and our friends over at Pure Fandom has given us granted us, hey, someone's walking out as champ. So there you go. If you ever wanted an IWGP replica, now's the time. You can wear it around Scotiabank Arena. You have to wear it. That is the rule. If you win this. But you know the rule as well. If you win, you have to defend it. You have to defend it. Roll-ups, 24/7 title. Kicks flying everywhere. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be wild. We already have our ticket, like, we're already at capacity essentially. If you are coming in, like, get your tickets now. If you haven't already, we will be doing a pre-show in the daytime, and we'll be doing it with like some games and some drinks, and then the podcast with John Away, and then afterwards, if you come back after Forbidden Door, we'll be doing wrestling karaoke and just hanging out and drinking and having a good old time. So I'm super excited. We have the Postmark Poisonrana friend group. The whole thing is like coming together. It's like a huge multiverse coming alive, and I'm beyond excited. So many people going to be there. I can't wait. The summer is peaking with this early. And also, if you are in the UK, London, if you're planning to make that trip to Wembley, All In It, we sold out in under 48 hours. Crazy. Grapple with Poisonrana are hosting All In It at Trinity Bar in Harrow. If you were unsuccessful getting your ticket, drop us a message. We'll see what we can do. We do have a little bit of leeway with the venue, but it's going to be pretty packed there. It's going to be fun. We're going to be doing, the Grapple lads are doing one of their live podcasts. I think we're then going to team up with them and play some games, do a bit of a joint show. Plenty of opportunity. They've got a lot of beers on tap. I'm going to be creating some cocktails, wrestling-inspired cocktails for the event. We'll have some wrestling music going. And there's no kitchen
at Trinity Bar. But you know what you can do? You can bring your own kebab. And this is in Harrow. There's a lot of kebab shops to choose from.
I'm excited to have a true kebab.
Should have a kebab off.
You like rate them?
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you rate that, or eat it? If whoever could eat it the fastest. I don't know. That would just.
That would kind of ruin the rest of your day.
Yeah, possibly. All in would be interesting.
But yeah, it's if you still want to get tickets, please give me a DM. We'll see what we can do. It's really close to Wembley. It's one fast train on the Met Line or just 3 stops. You can get there from the tube station in under 15 minutes, and then you just walk along Wembley Way with the crowd, which is like something in itself, you know? Like, You've watched Ted Lasso, you've seen the big like Wembley playoff game. Like, that is such a thing. Like, exiting Wembley Park station, going down those steps, doing the long walk as you just see the arch. It's going to be so good, full of wrestling fans. Bring your deodorant with you, please.
Please, God. Please, fucking God. I joked to you this week. I did not say this on a show, but tell me I'm wrong. Poisonrana deodorants. That's what we give out.
Yeah.
At all the wrestling we go to.
The little travel ones?
Yeah. Is there a way to get like even smaller ones? Let's get Poisonrana travel deodorants. Not for us. Because you know what? You know, for 2 dudes who talk about wrestling a lot, we smell really good all the time. How many times do people tell us we smell good in public? Just this week, someone came up to me and went, you know what? You smell good. And I'm not talking about I smell good like Kush. I mean, I just pride myself on wearing deodorant and showering every day. So wrestling fans, if you're going to wrestling this summer, if you're just going outside, the other day I'm on a bus and I'm like, what the
I actually had a comment the other day. It is Pride Month in the city. It's an awesome time in Toronto. And I don't know, being European and theatrical, I often get people think I bat for the other team, and that's okay.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. But yeah, someone said the other day, it was like, oh, I assume you were, but why? And I'm like, you smell good.
Yeah. Please wear deodorant. It's I'm not going to lie. Deodorant has hiked up in price. I can understand, but like, guys, you need to smell, not just guys, everyone. You need to smell good sometimes. Yeah. It's hot and stinky out there, sweating and human liquids and all that. Just deodorant.
And it's gonna be hot. Like, London can get pretty hot. It's August. It could be a
hot and
could be a high 20s day, hopefully.
Wet, hot British summer.
Yeah.
Because like some people, you've seen these like TikToks or Instagrams where they go to raves or whatever, like outdoor festivals, and he's got the deodorant on the stick.
Yeah.
Maybe we just do that. Yeah. Like, have a sign. Stinky? Question mark? And then we just
I think it's for me it's a rule. If someone ever offers you like, you know, chewing gum or a mint or whatever, don't say, oh no thanks, I'm good, because it might be them being polite. I popped a customer at work last night at the bar because she goes, it's really loud, karaoke's going on. She goes, excuse me, do you have a breath mint? And I was like, sorry. And she's like, do you have a breath mint at all? And I just went, no, why? Do I need one? And she just laughed. Yeah. She's like, yeah, you stink now.
You stink.
You stink.
Yeah, please. Deodorant can go. Like, maybe someone that's listening right now is like, no, I'm au naturel. I don't wear, blah, blah, blah.
Well, you know what? You're not invited.
Please, just wear, like, everyone stinks. It's normal. We're all human. But, like, there's ways to combat that. Just going to wrestling events, man. It's like, how many times have we I brought my girlfriend to some shows last summer, getting her into the wrestling bug, and how many times did she look over at us like, guys,
what's that smell? It's like, oh yeah. You're just waiting for that pyro to go off to like clear the like, oh thank God, smoke.
There's some other smell right now. Yeah. So please, wrestling fans, it's summertime. Wear deodorant.
It is. We've had quite a busy week here at Poisonrana. We were joined by Emmy award-winning Rob McDonald to chat all about Suicide Squad earlier this week. And you know what, maybe that review, we've already had some backlash from some listeners with certain opinions, but I thought a really fun chat talking about the 2016 Suicide Squad.
I haven't seen any backlash. I think everyone agrees with us that Jared Leto is quite possibly the best Joker ever.
Better than Nicholson.
I mean, easily better than Nicholson, but the best Joker, possibly the best portrayal. Yeah. If you are over at our Patreon, we have friends. It's $5 a month to become a friend. You get access to all the podcasts that we do. But if you become a family member, World Champ, you get access to every show, plus behind the BDE every month, and then you get to pick stuff that we talk about and review, and then we have you on and do it. And we have a ton of fun with those on Up Yours. And yes, Rob McDonald, who's been a long time listener of Post and Poison Rana, he's basically filling in the gaps of our Bat universe of reviews, and he picked Suicide Squad. And you know what? It made for a really fun review, chatting all about how they filmed it all across our city in Toronto. So we have some insight on that. Jared Leto sending people
method acting.
Yeah, exactly. Will Smith, Margot Robbie, entanglements possibly. So it was a whole fun podcast of everything. But if that doesn't wet your bat whistle quite enough, well, here on this very free feed this week, the Bat reviews continue, because I know everyone is just so excited for the new Batman movie. Sorry, the new Flash movie that we are doing, The Batman.
Dun, 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 dun.
Is that...
That's 3 hours of that. That's the movie.
No, it's 3 hours of... There's something in the way, isn't that? No, wait, that's... Yeah, Nirvana. They play that song like 10 times in the Batman.
In The Batman, yeah.
I've only watched it last year when it came out.
I watched it.
Time.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to rewatching this one. I was impressed first time round. So, yeah.
I feel like I walked out of the movie, like... loving it, and then when I got home I thought about it and I was like, oh, I hated that movie. So I'm actually really interested to rewatch it and talk about it. So it will be a great podcast, and would love any feedback this week. We'll put up a thread on the Patreon and the Facebook, but it will be on this free feed, the Batman review. And then people are getting hyped up for the Flash and Batman and stuff. And
also, right now on this very free feed, we're going to be releasing the whole thing tomorrow with the video and everything. But we had the chance to interview Mercedes Martinez the other day, and she was awesome. She was so giving with her time. We thought we were going to get about 20 minutes. We went well over an hour, chatting all about the Mae Young Classic, her time on the Indies, her time in AEW and ROH, where she wants to see wrestling go, how it was for her as like a woman wrestler during the early 2000s when it was such a diva bra and panty era. I thought she was fantastic. The audio is up on this feed right now, but tomorrow we're going to be releasing the video version, which I really encourage you to watch as well.
Yeah, please go when you see this. We'll be tweeting it out and putting it up on the YouTubes and stuff. But we'll go watch that. She was extremely humble and just. I would love to chat with her again down in the future. She was just so open to just discussing everything, just out in the open, and very like a lot of wrestlers, warranted. They have egos, and I did not feel that way.
No
from
ego
her at all.
Really, like positive energy. I thought,
good vibes.
She was awesome. She'll be facing Masha Slamovich in Toronto at 11:30 a.m. at the Rec Room for Smash Wrestling. So if you want to go and see some more wrestling that day, you are able. Rec Room is super close to Real Sports and Scotiabank. You can go to that Smash Wrestling show, see that match, and then head on over to Real Sports for Forbidden Pour.
Yeah, lots of wrestling in Toronto. Like if you're going to Forbidden Door weekend, that whole Sunday, starting at 11:30 with Girls Next Door, and we mentioned with Mercedes and all the whole like all women's card, and then it continues through the day with Defy and Progress and Smash doing all the wrestling. So whether or not you're hopping between our event and this event, come through. It's all really close. It's like 2-minute walk to each of these venues. So the downtown hub, and it's right near our house. It's literally right outside our house. You can
see it outside.
So it's like there's going to be a lot of wrestling going on, and that whole day. Like if imagine you go to that at 11:30 and you watch all that, and then you come hang out with us, and then you go to the show, and then you're gonna have a long day. So deodorant.
I don't think I could. Yeah.
You need one of those travel ones. But yeah, I mean, anyone coming in for this weekend or Toronto area people, because obviously Collision's got this. There's the AEW Collision, which we'll talk about in a little bit, on the Saturday, which we don't have tickets for yet, but I feel like we might last minute. But again, we'll talk about that. Sunday we got Forbidden Door. The following Wednesday, Hamilton Dynamite. So Dynamite's going live from Hamilton, Ontario. We will be going there as well. So let us know if anyone's out there is going for a meetup or before or after,
tell
whatever.
Us where we should hit up beforehand.
Yeah. And then the Thursday, the 29th, AEW is doing Collision in Hamilton on the Thursday, but we support local here.
Loyalists.
That's right. So we won't be going to that Collision. We will be going to Demand Lucha in the 6, Parkdale Hall. You've heard us before rave about how fun these shows are. And Demand Lucha is the best Toronto fed going. Like, hands down, we just always have a blast. We bring friends there, and then they go tell their friends, and people show up. We have had listeners show up. Like, it's just a whole party. And Jordan and everyone who runs Demand Lucha over there is just absolutely killing it. And we will be there on Thursday, June 29th. And that main event looks insane. What, Gringo, Vikingo, Cartwheel, and oh no, who's the other person in that match? Someone crazy.
It's Cartwheel, Mike, Speedball.
Oh man, yeah, that's crazy. That's gonna blow the whole.
Brian Cage is gonna be on the show as well.
Yeah, there's
Is Gangrel coming back?
I don't think Gangrel, but there is Jody Threats on the card, and what is it? Freddie Mercury, your favorite, Fred Die turned heel, right? So yeah. Demand Lucha. Honestly, we just love going to these events, and they're so much fun.
Out of curiosity, I just went on StubHub and typed in AEW Collision, and you've got to go and have a look at the photo they've put up, because I think this is very ambitious.
Oh,
they've got like a stadium, like 100,000 seat stadium. They've got a picture of
nice
for Collision. Don't know if it'll be quite that size, but
But yeah, lots and lots of wrestling going on in our great city of Toronto. Lots of wrestling everywhere in the world. You can't go a whole day if you're a wrestling fan. There's wrestling on every night of the week, whether it's AEW, WWE, all this stuff. So yeah, fun summer of wrestling.
Fun summer of wrestling. And shall we start talking all about it?
Yes, I think we shall.
Well, we lost a legend this week in the world of wrestling.
Fucking bullshit.
Rest in peace, Iron Sheik.
Yeah, rest in peace, Sheiky baby. I mean, this guy being one of the original bad guys of pro wrestling, like all the clips I've been watching this week of just like, you know, reminiscing of all the great moments. And obviously when it comes to mind of the Iron Sheik, you think of Hulk Hogan pinning him, becoming the legend of Hulk Hogan, becoming Hulk, like, you know, Hulkamania running wild. And it all really started with him beating the Iron Sheik. And obviously the whole fuck Hulk Hogan feud, thus
one of the
igniting
best Twitters going.
One of the best Twitters that were clearly not him ever doing it. They had
They had the tone down.
They had the tone down. Yeah, they definitely had the tone down. I know that they've joked before, the Magnum boys, saying that they would continue to tweet even though like he's passed, but I don't know necessarily that. I wasn't super cool with the way they tried to get themselves over in one of the posts that they posted. Basically, hey, the Iron Sheik passed away, and then like wrote like a whole thing, and then in one of the notes was like, so we're this, and we tried to, it's like, not the time, guys, but
Patreon.com.
Yeah, it's like, okay. But yeah, he wasn't running that Twitter. Sorry to break anyone's kayfabe there, but I still read it in his, you know, his tone, his voice, and everything like that.
I like to think he approved of everything.
Every time they're like, is this cool?
Is this fuck Hulk Hogan? Yeah, that's cool. You can send that.
Yeah, every tweet, he micromanaged and went through and said, yeah, sure. So yeah, Iron Sheik, like, going, for me, you know, we watch Botchamania whenever it drops. We get excited, we roll in, and then we watch it. And like his quotes are always littered through the intro of it, and like the famous, you know, break your back, make you humble thing is forever throughout wrestling history. But like, yeah, he's very significant in the world of wrestling. Like, I feel like our parents kind of would recognize him, the guy with the curly shoes and the mustache, right?
Well, such a huge character, and also like how they would play off, you know, during all the kind of conflicts and tensions with Iran and stuff like that.
Number one.
And having him as this big, like, well, Iranian sympathizer and stuff, like,
and big meaning he was jacked.
He was huge.
What about those wooden things? What are those poles things he was doing? The clubs,
the stick thing. Yeah,
man, those things I could never understand. Like, showing whenever other wrestlers would try to do it, like they would struggle because they couldn't like get the straight. But his arms were like massive. But like those things always, I don't know how he could do it.
On one of those hidden treasures.
Yeah,
was it Backlund was able to do it? I think he was the only one who could
still do it.
And like was basically gifted them to keep, and they were like hunting, trying to find.
Whoa, okay.
Pretty sure that was
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but for me, like we're a little younger. We didn't grow up watching wrestling in like the 70s and 80s. It's the Gimmick Battle Royal for me.
WrestleMania 17. He
won the Gimmick Battle Royal on the greatest WrestleMania of all time.
All because he couldn't get eliminated, so they're like, "Fuck it, you win it." Yeah. We can't wait. You're not allowed to bump. You're too old. You're too beat up. Okay, well, How about we just have you win?
I mean, looking through the competitors, like who else should have won?
Repo Man.
Repo Man, the Goon.
I love that battle royal.
Oh yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah,
I think you. Who could you do that again with now?
They couldn't match the magic of the gimmick battle royal of WrestleMania 17. But yeah, Shiki winning that one. I always like loved in the video games. Like he was always in the video games. I'm playing SmackDown versus Raw or Here Comes the Pain, and I'd always give my creator wrestler the curly shoes for no reason, just because it looks different and looks funny, like looks cool. I always loved his look. I always loved watching the Howard Stern interview, that famous clip where it's all the ridiculousness, and that's something that wrestling fans, I'm sure, like me, were watching this week. And but like when it comes to matches, like we're younger and we haven't like fully watched a lot of his wrestling, but I remember a lot of his like promos. Or what about him and like Slaughter when they were put together and all that stuff. So I genuinely think he's like will be remembered as one of the best. He's villains.
Someone you can just like go on a little like rabbit hole on YouTube and just watch ridiculous clips, promos and shoot interviews and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I genuinely love all his ridiculousness, and the whole fuck Hulk Hogan thing is just hilarious. So pour one out for the Iron Sheik.
Pour one out. Rest in peace.
Absolutely. We lost a true like pioneer in this industry.
Yeah. Moving on to AEW, some more Collision announcements as we're getting closer and closer to the debut of the Saturday night show starting next week. And Tony Khan announced the big match kicking off, like main event in the first show. It's going to be Samoa Joe, Jay White, and Juice Robinson taking on CMFTR.
Yeah, this is the return of CM Punk, which is a big deal. It's going to be in Chicago, and there was dirt sheets, people saying, oh, there's rumors that it's going to be Joe. There's rumors it's going to be Jay White randomly, and now it's like no, it's just both of them,
all of them,
and Juice in a match. To be honest, it's not quite what I was expecting. I know Punk returning, you wouldn't just randomly throw him in a singles match, but I would think you need something to make it a bit more amped up. I don't really care about this match as much as it would be interesting to see.
I'm surprised he's having a match, to be honest.
Yeah,
in the first show, I thought it would be a big like
I'm back
promo.
He should start the show.
I mean, the idea is I think he will start the show.
Okay,
and obviously being in the main event, that will be a 2-3 segment thing. So basically, you're gonna get a whole lot of CM Punk on this first show.
Is this a 2-hour show?
Yeah. So, I think the Jay White, Juice Robinson stuff, I haven't been a big fan of so far. And I think Joe and Punk, that's cool.
I mean, like, the history there, right?
I'm sure that's a singles match we're going to have down the line.
Let him wrestle for an hour.
Meeting will be interesting. But it is kind of weird because the story's been, FTR saved Ricky Starks from these two. So now it's not Ricky with them, it's CM Punk with them, and randomly Samoa Joe. I think it's going to be interesting seeing Punk back in the ring. I personally thought you were going to maybe go, CM Punk opening promo and then like Adam Cole MJF for the main event, big title defense.
Yeah, instead
they're doing that on Dynamite next week. But you're getting CM Punk all over this show, so that's what they're going for, like just splattered everywhere.
Yeah, so CM Punk coming back and wrestling in this 6-man tag match, which is like, again, a bit of a head scratcher. I can't say that was the one that was like, oh, I better tune in on this show. But I would suspect he opens the show and talks. Because like, what if they do a whole show where he just doesn't talk? He just shows up, wrestles, and leaves.
Does his match now.
Does his match, gets injured, and leaves. I don't know. Like, what like, you have to have him talk. You have to
I'm very confident.
You have to have him talk, right?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
that's would clear the air of some things, possibly, maybe. But yeah, for the first show, for a big like hype up of something that they're trying to hit us over the head with, that is like, hey, this is going to be a big show for us. I don't think they've knocked it out the park thus far. Like, I don't think this is the draw. And as much as people are like, oh, CM Punk, once CM Punk is announced for all these shows, these tickets are going to be flying. They're going to be selling out. That's not the case at all. Like, Chicago, sure. But, like, some of these shows are in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Like, is Punk showing up in Collision on the Saturday in
and that's almost
Toronto?
why I would have felt, you know, you don't need him to have a match like on this first show. You use it to set up a match in Toronto or Hamilton or something like that, where you're trying to draw more tickets. I mean, I'm sure he's possibly going to wrestle on those shows and be on these shows anyway. I do think Punk is a draw for enough people, though.
Absolutely.
Where like it doesn't. Maybe why burn a big match right away when you can build to that, and just as a first thing, it's just, I mean, it's more so it's Juice Robinson, isn't it? Like,
you know what?
With all due respect, like
with all due respect, when Juice showed up, I groaned. Shout out CJ Parker, will always be a fan. But lately, Juice has been making me laugh. Anytime he's on the screen, he's eating that screen. Him and his reactions and the way he talks is super funny. And Jay White and him together, again, groaned. But then Jay White's putting on like okay matches right now. So I'm like, you can't necessarily, if you're not watching, you'd go, oh, fuck these guys. But if you're watching, you're like, oh, actually, they're kind of entertaining.
There was a report, and I'm paraphrasing this, but that like Jay White's kind of like aware the creative's not being great, but he's also being kind of patient and like, I'm new here and it will come sort of thing, which... Again, like paying his dues a little bit, maybe.
And just watching, I'm like, oh, actually, I want to hate it. And then I'm like, oh, Juice is making me laugh. He's doing ridiculous shit. And then Jay White had a good match with Ricky. So it's like, hey, actually, he's pretty good. Because you can be one of these fans and like, oh, he should have went to WWE. They're misusing him. Well, he was in the main event of Dynamite, and he's also main eventing their first show with CM Punk. So like, really, what kind of position is he in? A pretty good one right now. So yeah, just kind of bizarre that Punk is coming back, but it's in this mixed, the 6-man tag, and then I don't know, it seems a little Rampage, baby. It seems very Rampage, baby. And you know what we've been saying? Fool me once, can't get fooled again. I think they're trying to fool us again.
It can't be Rampage. No, it can't. You've got 2 hours on a Saturday night at 8 p.m. They're gonna throw a lot at this show.
Well, I mean, Davey, in 2 weeks. Collision coming to the Scotiabank Arena.
Yep.
Nothing announced.
No.
Except Shawn Spears.
Oh.
Live.
Wow.
On Collision.
Yeah.
Fool me once, can't get fooled again.
He closed out Rampage, didn't he, last time? Yeah. I mean, he's local, you know. But yeah, it's not gonna shift tickets.
Boy, I am, and it's fine though. Let's just not go to Collision on that Saturday, but let's hang out at home and tune in to watch Shawn Spears, Canadian superstar, live on TSN. Oh, it's not on TV. Huh. Then how is this a big secondary show when I got to pay $20 for an app to watch this show?
Yeah, I mean, that's more TV rights thing. Like, this is a Turner decision to do this show. Like, TSN has no stakes in AEW, so it's 8 o'clock on a Saturday. Like, there's other stuff.
There's so much going on
to be showing.
It's such a hard time.
It is, like, I do question, though, like, you've got, 5 TSN channels? It can't find a place on any. But other things have commitments. Yeah. Other things have contracts.
Dodgeball.
Like
curling,
whatever, like Timber Sports. If you sign a contract that I'm on TSN 4 at 8 p.m. on a Saturday, Collision can't go there.
Yeah.
I wonder if, because Rampage is still isn't Rampage on the app? I don't think Rampage is on TV either, is it?
No, I think it is.
Is it?
I don't know. We live in Toronto. We had the TSN apps and all this stuff. I hated it. We hated it. They were terrible.
They're not good.
And to pay $20 specifically for TSN, you want to watch Collision in Canada the right way, the legal way, $20 a month.
Yeah.
For one show. Get the fuck out of here. Watch wrestling. Google it.
Fight VPN.
Like, what? This is such a bad start to this show.
The Fight app is so much better.
Oh,
It costs barely nothing. It doesn't cost much at all per month, and you get the whole stream. You get commercial free, all of that. It's awesome. So.
It game changes how you watch AEW for any American listeners. Like obviously, if you have cable and stuff, but we're millennials. I don't know about you people, but buying cable, I'd rather buy the streaming services, and when there's wrestling attached to it, like hell yeah, that's even better. But to go, no, we're on an app that specifically, no, sorry, I I have zero. I'm just not interested in the show. It's already looking like they're fucking it up
for me. And I guess it's got a bit of a problem with, you know, if you're really trying to separate the Elite from Punk. But I'd have main evented this with Blood and Guts.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, like
first one.
CM Punk has the first half an hour of the show. You then get maybe like a TNT title defense, and then the last hour is Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big show. That, in the United Center, a big enough venue to have the double cage thing, but yeah, you can't have them in the same building.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So just I think off to the wrong start.
I still feel like I think once it gets like cooking, the other thing is the rumor of potentially CM Punk Kenta happening at Forbidden Door. You've got Bullet Club involvement here. Like this match would easily set up that. You know,
right.
Kenta coming out to help Jay White and Juice Robinson. I
thought you were gonna say Punk joins Jay White and becomes Bullet Club Gold.
How does that make any sense?
Does not at all. Yeah.
But yeah, I could totally see setting up like Kenta Punk with this match. It makes kind of sense with the characters involved.
Yeah, or maybe they go, hey, the Collision in Toronto is that match.
Yeah.
Because like all the people who bought tickets for Forbidden Door would be like, yeah, what the hell? Like I want to see Punk too, but
yeah, I feel like you'd have to have Punk on Forbidden Door. But having a match the night before.
I know. I want the good matches on Forbidden Door. So
Punk's good. Punk has been good. You didn't like Punk MJF?
Like Punk MJF, but like
you didn't like Punk Eddie Kingston?
I think that was before that.
What?
Eddie Kingston match was before the Punk one.
No, I'm saying in his last run.
Yeah, he definitely went down in interest for me. I agree.
I think the guy's a dick.
Yeah,
I'm not like interested in the human being, but I don't think it's fair to say he puts on bad matches, because I think he put on some of the best matches of his career.
I was super high on his original run. I actually really did not like his first match with Darby, but that's getting the cobwebs out and all that stuff. But he had a great run. But I would say his big main event matches after the Punk MJF feud, yeah, that was just a wash for me. It was not into that as well. So like me as a wrestling fan, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go give AEW my money. I'm buying we're going to all these shows. For other people, Punk is the draw. That's the reason we're going to these things, and I totally get that. But for me, it's like, yeah, I'm not getting my money's worth seeing him. I'd rather see these banger matches that you already have. You could just do the show with these two matches. 3 hours show with just Kenny, Kenny Ospreay, give him an hour, and Okada Danielson give him an hour.
I think I'm still just with AEW and WWE. They've got a lot of big things coming up, and I still feel in that treading water phase before we really get cooking. I'm surprised we didn't get more Forbidden Door involvement on this week's show. I thought the promo packages for both Ospreay, Kenny, and Danielson,
really good.
Okada were awesome, but I was surprised we didn't have some more angles, maybe.
Yeah, so maybe we will be getting that this week for sure. But yeah.
Well, let's get into a bit of Dynamite. We kicked off with Orange Cassidy defending the AEW International Championship against Swerve Strickland. Orange is now like just held together by bubblegum at this point, isn't he?
Getting beat up every week.
I think this run has been excellent, and I think Orange is actually carving himself perhaps in contention for Wrestler of the Year with this stuff he's doing. Swerve is fantastic as well. I kind of hope this gets ran back. But yeah, Orange just getting, having to resort to pulling the tights to win this thing. I'm loving this story.
Yeah, I feel like last week we were like, oh man, that Battle Royal at the pay-per-view was shit. But then the last 10 minutes when it was just those two was really phenomenal. And then we wanted to see the singles match. And then now we finally got that. Swerve, I was rooting for him to win as much as I love in this run for Orange, but I don't know who would be the guy now to take this title from him, but he has become a workhorse, a staple character in AEW. I love when it cuts to the kids dressed as him in the crowd. Every week some kid is dressed like him, and that goes a long way too, to have someone that stands out. At Comic-Cons, you're seeing people dressed up as, it's oh, he's a character that's breaking through to a wide audience, and and when he has matches like this one that he had on Dynamite, it's like, man, he could be world champion.
I think so. I think he had that triple threat for the championship when Kenny was, and I don't think anyone really took it seriously. I think you could totally, with MJF as champion, MJF Orange Cassidy,
do a TV collision match.
I think would be awesome.
Title v title.
I think maybe because he's getting so beaten up as well, it makes any challenger a potential now, you know, even some guys you don't really think of. And I think eventually when he loses it, it might not even be from a really hard fought match. It could be something just really simple that finally his body is just given up.
I think maybe, you know, you do a Miro crushing him, takes the title from him or something like that, because they have to have something in the wings for him, with them teasing he's coming back. Andrade, kind of the same thing, maybe, possibly. But yeah, Orange has just been killing it. I was rooting for Swerve just because he's also fantastic. I'm still not quite sure what's going on with him and the Mowgli affiliate embassy. Mowgli.
So he's what with Prince Nana and Gates of Agony, and
he just can't find a good group.
He
just can't find a good squad to have his back. But I love Swerve, man. He killed it on Wednesday, and that match was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he's not the one to take the international championship, I'd love to see him, you know, take Wardlow's title eventually.
That'd be way more interesting.
Like, I'm so not interested in this. I haven't been interested in the TNT title for quite a while.
Not at all, yeah.
I think the first sort of initial run with it, with, you know, Cody, Brody Lee, and Darby, like I really felt they made this title feel something quite important. And this international championship, which I think everyone ridiculed when they first announced, has definitely become the number 2 title in the men's division.
Yeah, and the TV matches, he's just been on a run. So yeah, definitely in the run for Wrestler of the Year, just because every week he's putting on the match that you go, that was great. And the crowd eat it up every week. Just such an over character. So love it.
We had a segment between MJF and Adam Cole. This match has kind of been like rumored to be happening. I've seen some quite split opinions on this segment, and we didn't watch Dynamite together this week, so kind of what were your takes from this?
I really hated the whole setup for the what was the last pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, because I did not, as much as I love them, I did not think Jungle Boy, Sami, or Darby were anywhere near the level of MJF on the mic. Finally having like a bit of a spat off between him and Cole, it felt like finally someone could hold their own. And again, it sounds like I'm burying the other 3, but let's be honest, they did not hold up when it came to the promos and stuff. But MJF and Adam Cole, like, they're definitely on like the same level of trash talking to just comfortable.
Well, because we've seen from, like, I mean, even before NXT and his ROH run, we've seen Adam Cole is such a great dick as well. And even though he's in a babyface role, he was able to be a dick to MJF as well, which not many people can do. I mean, Punk was great at that as well, but like not many people can match MJF on the mic. And I thought Adam Cole did, and I think their styles actually are gonna work really well together. Like MJF, the matches I tend to like the most are against your like Darby, Sammy's, Jungle Boys, that kind of smaller type. And I think Adam Cole works that style perfectly. So we're having the Eliminator match as soon as Wednesday. Like, this is coming right up, which
I guess should set up a title match at Collision, right? Like that, just to get that show off the ground running, put the title on the line and make people tune in for this match.
Or whether they put it on Forbidden Door. Maybe you have Sonata like face someone on the New Japan roster for it, and vice versa, maybe, which but I didn't mind this segment. I saw quite a bit of negativity to it, actually, but I'm with you. It did a much better job of building this than
the last one.
Is
the negativity because, he mentioned Vince McMahon, and if you mention Vince, it's like, who cares? Like,
but you should acknowledge what you've done before.
Yeah.
You know, like, a basketball player moves teams. They don't pretend that the other team never existed.
Yeah.
It's like they'll like flaunt their accomplishments there and stuff. Like, it depends. Sometimes it can feel cheap. I thought it was kind of made sense. And I think maybe it's because Adam Cole's kind of done fuck all since being in AEW.
Yeah.
So what are you going to like flaunt in your AEW run? Nothing.
I mean,
whereas you were as MJF said, probably the greatest NXT champion they've had. He had the longest reign for sure.
MJF proving he is showing his cards that he was a huge NXT black and gold fan.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I think we all knew that.
Yeah, we kind of have seen that. Yeah, I think MJF Adam Cole makes sense because really, if you've been following, he's always made digs at Britt.
Yeah.
For a while, they were like on the same side, but then lately he's been like kind of shooting on her, like off comments in his promo. So it does make sense for Cole to be like, yo, I hear what you've been saying. Like, screw you, pal. I liked it. I think it'll even get better. Like, I think there'll be another promo off or something that eventually gets to the next level.
So you see Cole beating MJF on Wednesday?
I mean, somehow, some way, we're getting a title match. So yeah, possibly.
Clean?
Maybe not. No, some shenanigans.
I wonder where you go with Cole after that, because I don't see him being the one to take the title from MJF.
No, I do not.
And therefore, maybe a clean win to start with is a good way to go, and then get cheated out of the actual title match.
Possibly.
But I'm down for this program. I'm ready to see Adam Cole. Like, I don't feel we've had, that Adam Cole we had from NXT.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Which is a shame. And I think maybe it's just he came at a time where bigger stars came in as well. Punk came in. Danielson came in like immediately after Adam Cole debuted. And I think he has felt you then had the Undisputed Era, not Undisputed Era thing going on, and then injuries. So it's been a bit of a rocky run for Adam Cole so far, but he's totally talented enough to kind of pull it back.
Yeah, I honestly, I liked the program, and I think MJF will still remain champion once it's over, but Adam Cole, like, maybe put him in a TNT title picture right now. Like, give him something to do down there, and then eventually he'll be, like, he could be world champion.
Yeah, like, I think if you have, like, a Andrade return and beat a Wardlow for the title, and then an Andrade-Adam Cole feud would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, the Jericho feud, I'm happy they're not continuing, but it didn't help either of them just because it was not great. So I do think there's better things for Adam Cole, but since coming to AEW, he's not hitting the same way. No. So he was really good in NXT. Right now, he's just chilling, but maybe they're keeping him on the burner.
The main event of the night was Jay White versus Ricky Starks with the Gun Club coming out to help Jay White.
Bullet Gun Club.
Is this the Bullet Gun Club now? Have they joined the Bullet Club Gold?
The Guns have joined Bullet Club Gold. I mean, they fit in with these guys, right? Like, they got nothing else going on. Why not join in on a group name that doesn't, like, it's been dead for a while, I guess. Not really going anywhere. Sure, it makes sense.
I kind of felt the same with this match as I did with their first match as well. Like, I kind of got into it, and then a bit of a weird finish, but it's storytelling. Like, you're building this thing. Do you see more members joining this thing? Yeah,
CM Punk's going to be the leader. The CM Punk and the Guns.
I think that would be a terrible idea.
So you're thinking it's Kenta coming in then?
I think this sets up for Kenta. Yeah. I can see Kenta costing Punk this match, having Jay White pin Punk.
Right.
That then sets up, Punk apparently wants to be working with Jay White. You do the Kenta match at Forbidden Door.
Well, he wrestles both nights.
And then, you can move on to this Jay White thing. And I think actually Punk will be very good for Jay White, because I think we'll be able to start seeing Jay White's promo ability, which I think he's pretty good at. And going up against a Punk in those segments, I think could help elevate Jay. Yeah,
the Bullet Club, they celebrated 10 years of Bullet Club this year, and they're still going. And there's still variants of it. It's like COVID. It will never truly get rid of it, but there'll be iterations and variants of it. So Bullet Club Gold, because then you got Finley over there in New Japan still being Bullet Club with, I don't know, whoever, Clark Connors was running his mouth or something.
Like, everyone just joined them, didn't they? Like Gabriel Kidd, I think. Who knows what's going on.
Just adding a bunch of nobodies. Just the Guns. Who else do we got? Who else aren't doing anything? Oh, you want to be in the Bullet Club? Yeah, why not? Fuck it. Do it. Hopefully it does lead to Hideo Itami.
Hideo Itami.
Once you're NXT for life, you're always going to be that.
Maybe it was Punk that took him out. of the parking lot.
Yeah, with the GTS.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should just be the match. A GTS.
Just a GTS off.
Yeah. Who could hit the better GTS? I don't know. Both of them haven't been hitting the best GTSs in the past few years, to be honest.
No. What else was there on AEW this week that kind of took your attention?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I loved, you mentioned it, I loved the promo video packages for Forbidden Door with the two big matches. And I thought they did a good job of taking that Danielson promo, the desert thing. Danielson calling it. He said, it's going to be a fucking desert. And then we got hit with these like forest fire smog and the world almost did turn into a desert. So Danielson was on something there. But yeah, I loved the promos kind of heading into that. But what else happened on Dynamite that it could even like remember?
I'm still just really enjoying BCC at the moment. I would love to see I think them versus House of Black down the line for the trios.
Where have those guys been? Yeah.
There'll be Collision. I think they're on that poster. But yeah, Mox, Yuta, and Claudio against House of Black. And I think because you get that dealer's choice stipulation, BCC can do knockout. It's like you can only win by
First
knockout.
blood.
And it would be just like, it would be like those team fighting sports,
Oh God.
you know?
Yeah,
I think that would be really awesome.
Okay.
Danielson has just been fantastic on commentary as well. Like,
Yeah.
I love that. Like, you know, when he's giving people props as well. Like, he's like, Ray Phoenix, he's like, you can't really train for him.
To fight him.
Like, we do a lot of training, but I never know what he's going to do next. And, like, I've got to give him credit for that.
I've been loving that. Like, again, the two big matches already promoted for Forbidden Door are already, every wrestling fan, we're like, okay, we're good. But what else do we got going on? I imagine this week on Wednesday or Saturday even that we get some more New Japan involvement to kind of maybe announce some other things. I imagine like Sting and maybe another multi-match or something.
Yeah, so they're kind of setting up a team of Sting, Darby, and Orange Cassidy, aren't they?
Right.
So yeah, maybe do they team up? Was it Shingo they teamed with last year?
It was, yeah.
Does Shingo join them again, or
You're pretty cool.
a Chaos member maybe?
Yeah, what was it? What was it last year? Sting doing the purple nurple on
Dudes with attitude, right?
That's right. The dudes with attitude. Yeah, Dynamite was all right, but I guess we're biased because we know we're going to this pay-per-view in a few weeks and like the big matches have already been set for it. So really, what else can you do to excite us? We already have our money. So
The thing is, I'm just looking. There's still like a whole load of like New Japan shows going on in Japan right now. So I don't know how much.
yeah, who's Master Wato facing at Forbidden Door?
I haven't seen his matches, but apparently people have been like absolutely raving about him. Master Watto, yeah, like some Sami Guevara.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm trying to think of some cruiserweights you could.
Yeah,
maybe
that'd
go
be
with.
all right. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Yeah, so it might just be set up through video packages. A lot of this, but we've only got what 2 Dynamites, 2 Collisions to go. So need to start getting a few more announcements.
We should announce something else out there. I'm wondering if there's talk of the Stardom stuff being involved and.
Yeah, Tony Khan pretty much confirmed that Mercedes was going to be involved with Forbidden Door, which is a real shame. But hopefully leaves the door open to potentially something else in the future.
Yeah.
Whether she'd be, I don't know the status of her injury, but is Wembley something she could perhaps aim for?
True, it's still a few months away, maybe, possibly. But yeah, the rumors are going around that they were talking of Saraya versus Mercedes Moné.
Yeah,
which would be interesting. I don't know if that's quite the match people want, but it makes there's history, right?
There's history there.
Yeah, and like I don't know if you'd have Saraya just lose to her, which you would have to do.
Yeah,
you would have to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm shocked that they like in hindsight. I'm shocked they went with Tony as champ and not Saraya simply because Wembley's coming up. But Tony's been killing.
Tony's going to put on the better matches, but no, storyline wise, it makes way more sense for Saraya and then Jamie hopefully beating Saraya in London.
Yeah.
let's. Is that it for AEW this week?
Yeah, I can't
nothing
remember.
else really.
Nothing like
grabbed me too much.
I didn't hate this week's episode, but I definitely like.
I felt the same way the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I actually haven't watched Dynamite live the last couple of weeks, and I've watched sort of catching up in sections the next couple of days, and I think that tells me something. There hasn't been the urgency for me to what is happening next in these stories that they're telling.
Yeah. So like clearly the Elite are still feuding with the BCC, but then Kenny's just like, I can't be fucked because I got a big match.
Yeah.
That like clearly someone's gonna interfere to like cost you the match. Like if you're smart, Kenny, you know you need to be watching.
Yeah, I mean, I think both Danielson and Omega are kind of. Danielson has only done Anarchy in the arena, which is a brutal match, but it's also a lot of walking around punching each other, not needing to take bumps.
Don't let them wrestle.
He only took like one bump and hit a drop kick really in that match. So the same with Kenny. We'll get that Takeshita match eventually. I think Takeshita still looked great. We saw him work as a heel like for the first time really this week.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
I got something to say. I got something I just remembered. Okay, Takeshita and Don Callis is working so well. Like the week before where he just came out and the boos, they're trying to stick with it by not letting him have music, but the boos weren't loud enough until Don talked. So you need to do the Vicky Guerrero. You need Don to hit no music for Takeshita, just Don right away. Like
start the promo like backstage
right away.
In,
They realized that hopefully me as a fan realized that this Wednesday the boos weren't loud enough yet. They thought they were gonna get Tommaso Ciampa boos for his entrance, but it wasn't hitting yet. So then Don started talking, and then the heat.
He should do the the whole like better than Gotch, better than Hackenschmidt, better than do the list he used to do, and then better than Kenny Omega. Takeshita, like do that coming out, like that would get such good heat.
Because he's genuinely, I love Don Callis. I love him so much, and I love Takeshita so much, and I'm seeing big things for him. And when we get that big Kenny versus Takeshita, whether it's all out, all in, whatever TV collision, doesn't matter. Like the match will be amazing. They purposely saying like Kenny was not in Canada, not in the States, so they're saying he was in Japan. So like, what is he getting? Kota Ibushi on his feed? Yeah, he's getting his buddies, he's getting his pals. I'm loving this whole thing. It's definitely one of the more interesting things going. But have you seen Takeshita's t-shirt?
Oh yeah, it's hideous.
Oh my god. I thought this was supposed to be a t-shirt company, and all these t-shirts they've been putting out are absolute dog shit.
This one especially, this looked like one of the ones you get outside the arena. The one like people just make themselves and...
No, imagine you're going to Taylor Swift, right? And you see a bootleg t-shirt seller, and the t-shirt has a picture of Taylor Swift, and it says favorite food, hamburgers. Not even fucking bootleggers would sell something so hideous. Sorry, not sorry. AEW, you need to get your designers up straight, man. I don't know if this is AI shit or what, but this is awful. Have you seen this? Look at this thing.
I'm just Googling if Taylor Swift likes hamburgers.
No, if you don't understand. So the t-shirt has Takeshita's face on it.
Yeah.
And then like the graphic of his face or whatever, cool. Just, I personally don't like wearing t-shirts with other dudes' faces and
it's kind of weird.
Shirtless bodies on. It's just weird sometimes. But the t-shirt has his face, and then it's like, born, Japan, birthday, 1995, finishing move, the running knee, German suplex, favorite food, Cinnabon. It's like, what? That was the only thing you could come up with for a t-shirt? Bad. You should feel bad. Whoever designed this, I'm sorry. I'm sure you're a really nice person. But please go back to the drawing board. Go back to the lab again. Because I hope it was the same person who did the other shirt, the Elite's new shirt. That looks like I designed it with my eyes closed. It's like the heart, the soul, the passion. It's like, fucking hell, man. I am not a graphic designer. But please give me the ball, AEW. TK, give me one day. I'll give you 5 shirts that are better than any shirt you've ever put out. I swear to God, their shirts are so awful. I want to order their stuff. I love this company. I watch your shit every week. I spend my life talking about it. I love it. I love wrestling. But you guys need to fix this because like, how is WWE selling better merch like t-shirts? Because they used to be real shit for a while and they've stepped it up completely. Like. PWT and AEW, they need to go outside the box because like indie wrestlers who go, hey, any independent like designers want to help me design, their shirts are amazing. But when you look at AEW, they're just shit. I'm sorry. They're so bad. And that's a big part of wrestling. Wrestling fans love t-shirts and this and that. It's like, how am I supposed
how
to...
much a say do these wrestlers have? Because like if someone made that for me, I'd be like,
no, absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Yeah.
This is terrible. So
there's the reason why we've never seen Danielson
wear any of his shirts.
He wears some BCC stuff now, which is kind of cool. Like,
well, what was
the
thing going around is they designed a Yes shirt, and then he's like, no,
I don't do
so
that. Yeah.
Just awful. Like having his whole gimmick of Takeshita before this is, what do we know about this guy? He likes Cinnabons. Okay, let's put that on a t-shirt, but let's go favorite food, Cinnabons. Like, what?
Let's move on.
Yeah, sorry, it irked me. I was like, what? I'm not even a designer, and I know designers out there are feeling the same way.
Let's move over to WWE. We are your NXT friends. And there's been quite a bit of integration between NXT and WWE, main roster recently. And I'm kind of for it. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams appearing on SmackDown, kind of with the assist to get Butch. Butch is going home. He's coming home, going to Money in the Bank. Baron Corbin losing, continuing this feud between Melo and Corbin. Yeah, I'm not really into Corbin, but I do like what they're doing with the cross promoting. And we've got Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins set for Tuesday, which I would imagine we're going to have heavily plugged this coming Monday. And I'd be really interested to see what the NXT ratings are this week, because I think they could be pretty big.
Yeah, lots of integration, whether it's Melo and Trick showing up and costing Corbin that match, whether it's the Unholy Union, the Witches, they got a name now.
The Witches, yeah.
Potentially putting the titles on.
Unifying the titles.
Yeah, exactly. So like this does seem like there's a lot going on with NXT, and promoting Seth versus Braun this Tuesday sounds great. The match will be awesome. And I liked the fact that they're kind of doing this a bit more lately with, Trick showing up, Melo showing up.
When Nick Khan said that they want to kind of make this, we've seen it go back and forth. We've seen NXT be developmental. We've seen it be its own brand. We've seen it be developmental.
Yeah.
And it's back to them kind of wanting it to be its own brand, which I'm way more for. Like, it can do both. It can be developmental and be its own brand.
Sorry, he's now saying, it's more than just developmental.
Well, it's TV rights coming up. So you want to sell it as...
Yeah.
How are you going to... Like, you could potentially split this off and sell it to another network.
Yeah.
And what's more attractive? Like, WWE's like third brand or WWE's developmental system with their rookies.
Yeah.
Like, it's way more attractive that way.
For audio listeners, I'm just going to visual theater here. Audio visual theater. Eye roll. Because, you guys were a third brand. Yeah. You were killing it. And then what happened? Why did we disappear from that? But yeah.
But I would say when it was that third brand, it absolutely wasn't serving its purpose as a developmental.
No.
And I do think it is doing that now. Because you're seeing the likes of Melo and Braun, where you go, yeah, I can totally see you on the main roster. Whereas how many conversations did we have on Up Next over the years going, oh man, love Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano, but I worry about them being on the main roster, and that's like super talented people like them. So I think it is serving both things. I like unifying the women's tag, and I hope they do what they originally said they'd do, where this is defended on all three brands. I think that makes it, it means you can have these, little boosts of main roster people coming to NXT once in a while. You can have, all right, we don't want to do much tag division stuff on the main roster right now, so have someone in NXT win it and have it defended there for a little bit before going off to SmackDown or whatever.
Yeah.
I really like that idea, actually.
I just think that the Witches are going to lose.
Yeah.
So, which sucks for them bringing them in right away. But I thought, I was watching some clips of SmackDown today. I thought Isla Dawn sounded super comfortable in the ring with, I'm not saying Ronda and Shayna are the best
promos,
talkers, best anything really. But she kind of stood out in that for me. So I was like, interesting. Because I know having Ronda and Shayna right now as champions is a good look, is the right thing to do with them right now. That's why I'm just kind of bummed, because I'm like, they're my girls for NXT. I got to be in the corner. Well, all four, minus Ronda, are NXT, but you just brought them up. You shouldn't have them lose right away. So I'm kind of like,
It is difficult, but then you'd say the same with Caden and Casey, they shouldn't be losing right away either. Yeah. And then who are the other teams?
Yeah.
There aren't really any, are there? But yeah, I feel way more positive with this cross promotion thing. I'm really looking forward to Bron and Seth
on Tuesday. We will be going live right after, guys.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like, Seth is obviously your world champion and can absolutely beat Bron clean, but also I think they might want to have some sort of level of protection with Bron Breakker. So
Ilya,
maybe an Ilya run in or something like that.
And then Ilya slaps the shit out of Seth too and holds up the title and says, I want this one instead. SummerSlam.
But yeah, I am looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a really big NXT this week and should do a pretty good number if promoted well.
You know what? This week of wrestling looks pretty good. If you're looking at NXT, and I can't say I've been like necessarily stoked for any specific match on NXT until this one genuinely is the biggest one in a long time.
Does Bron spear Seth on Monday?
Yeah, on Monday. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna say in the match he's doing the 450 Phoenix Splash and speared in midair or something.
I think Bron should show up.
It's the stomp. It's the stomp, lift up, spear in midair. Yeah,
trying to work out.
It'll work.
It'll work.
Think about it.
Okay,
it'll work. And then I mean like that Tuesday NXT, but Dynamite is stacked as well, right? With the title match, the eliminator match, the multi-man, the BCC Elite. So it's like there's a lot of good wrestling coming out this week for sure. So I am excited. But NXT having that big set, like Seth hasn't been back in a long time. We do a show called Was Next where we've been going through the history, and like he was the first champ there. He was the guy there. So it is cool to kind of see that.
I'd say NXT has like, it's not like there's stuff on other brands and stuff I'm more excited about, but I do think it's maybe been the most consistent show in the last few months.
There's still been some good wrestling on it.
There's been good wrestling, and the stories have been like having a beginning, middle, and end, and paced relatively well.
Yeah,
I think as well. Also on SmackDown, we had the return of Charlotte Flair, first time since her loss at WrestleMania, which means obviously she gets a title shot right away for the new WWE Women's Championship.
It's a new title.
Yeah.
So is this the same title as Roman's title? It looks a lot like it.
With a white strap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did find it
So this is 6 times that they've now shown this title as like, hey, look at this title.
It's funny because it makes total sense. We've said this for a few weeks. Get rid of Raw and SmackDown. Just have WWE and Universal or whatever, and you can switch back and forth. Adam Pearce on SmackDown didn't say Undisputed once. He said WWE Women's Championship, which makes me think probably on Raw we're going to get the the Women's World Championship or something like that. But slapped on this title says Undisputed.
Yeah, it did.
Undisputed.
That's right. So Trish is winning both, and we're making it undisputed. No, I did notice that, and I was like, well, did you just take the design from the other one?
Yeah,
on this
like
one?
with Romans, I can, like, it's still dumb, but I can somewhat find logic in it where you go, no, he's the undisputed champion of the entire universe, whereas Seth is just the champion of the world.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way, like, it's ridiculous, but you can justify it.
So,
these women's championships are just 2 women's world championships, so it is disputed.
Yeah.
There's Rhea.
So you're saying that anyone on Earth could challenge Seth, but no aliens could challenge Seth.
No aliens.
But the Universal Championship, they could.
Although you have, like Europeans challenging for the US title, don't you? It's never really...
Yeah. True. Yeah, fair, yeah.
I think Rhea's title should say, like, definitive on it.
Definitive.
So you get the undisputed champion and the definitive champion.
Yeah, I'm definitely over the whole... Like, they're clearly trying to figure some things out with what's going to go on with brand splits and titles and stuff, but it's like, holy shit, guys.
It makes sense, but, like, I'd be interested if Rhea's championship maybe looks closer to Seth's, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
If you go away from the big WWE logo thing we've had for a while and Asuka...
Nah, bring back the best title of all time. The Divas Championship.
Divas have the butterfly?
Yeah, I'm still looking for one.
Yeah?
To go with my Hitman
but
jersey.
Charlotte's back, restarting that feud with Asuka. I think they've always had pretty good chemistry, and there is a lot of story there. Bianca, I think we're maybe starting to see maybe a bit of a heel turn because she's, a little pissed, and justifiably so, that Charlotte's just waltzed in and taken that championship shot. So I see some sort of, three-way and things, but I think we're probably building to maybe Charlotte and Bianca at SummerSlam.
Okay.
And I feel we haven't really had that match on a big stage. I think they did do something in NXT when Charlotte had a stint there, and maybe a couple of TV matches. But
3 ways.
I don't feel like Bianca's had her big Becky matches, her big Bailey matches, and the Sasha matches, obviously. I feel Charlotte is the last one of the 4 horsewomen she hasn't really had that big match with.
Yeah. So you're saying SummerSlam, Bianca, Charlotte?
I feel, unfortunately, Asuka might be a transitional here.
Yeah, the classic Charlotte moves there.
Unless you do the triple threat at SummerSlam, but I see perhaps we're getting a triple threat at Money in the Bank.
Interesting. Staying on women's championships, I mean, what we said should happen, it looks like might happen with Zoe Stark being qualified for the Money in the Bank. I see her winning this and handing it over to Trish. Trish goes, great, I didn't have to take a single ladder bump, and I'm going to become champion. And that's the SummerSlam match, Becky, Trish, because Trish has been killing it as this heel.
The only thing with that is you'd be talking about Trish cashing in on Rhea.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, true.
Which...
Yeah, okay, so then...
And I don't see them taking it from Rhea anytime soon.
No, definitely not. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you can cash in, like, on any brand, but I don't know if they'd be doing that. Like, I say that. They're moving all around the brand.
Okay, so Becky and Zoe are both in the Money in the Bank, right? The match. So you have Becky's about to win it, and, Trish comes and costs her that. Zoe wins it and then gives it to Trish. So then you have SummerSlam, the briefcase on the line.
Yep, you could do that.
Right? That would make sense.
Yeah, and then that
stretches it out.
Yeah, and then potentially if Becky were to win that, it could be Becky challenging...
Who's Rhea's match for SummerSlam?
Rhea for SummerSlam.
If it's not Becky or Trish, I mean, don't know who you do.
Who is there?
Seth.
Io or Bailey.
Okay.
Io's pretty much... You've now got Io and Bailey both qualified as well. I think Io could potentially win it. And I think you could do a similar story that you're telling with Bailey kind of being like, hey, give that to me. Or you have, them cost each other the briefcase in the match. I actually think the women's is a bit more interesting than the men's this year on the Money in the Bank side. I think there's a few more potential. Men's, we've got qualified, Butch.
When is Money in the Bank? It's July 1st, Canada.
July 1st, yeah.
Interesting.
Men's, we've got Butch, Nakamura, Ricochet, LA Knight, and Santos Escobar.
Sweet.
Qualified.
LA Knight.
Obviously, they'll give Butch a big hope spot in London there, for sure. But yeah, I'd like LA Knight with that.
He's so over.
LA Knight going after Seth.
Oh, okay. Fun,
cool, yeah. I think.
You look like such a loser if you were to win this and go, and I want that title.
But then, from storytelling point of view...
I can't beat Roman.
You can't go against Roman, really, can you?
Well, while we're talking about Roman, briefly, we got to talk about... Are you going to WrestleMania 40? If you've ever wanted to see The Rock wrestle live, you might have the chance.
Because things aren't going too well, are they?
Things aren't going too well for The Rock right now. Young Rock canceled.
XFL apparently lost,
a lot of money.
60 bill, was it? Or 60 mil?
Oh, no, not bill.
60 mil.
Yeah,
60 mil.
Yeah. There's not that many people are watching XFL. Come on.
No, that's why he lost it.
Yeah, that's why he lost it. And then, of course, Black Adam, people are talking like that didn't do well. He came crawling back to Fast X Part 1 out of 6. So, what? The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 40?
In Philly?
I think so, man. I think that's the
it
story.
Still depends on the guy's movie schedule and stuff. Like he's
what's he filming?
Still making shit. But 40 is as good a time to do it as any, isn't it?
It'd be pretty big.
It would like
it makes sense why they didn't do it.
It would make sense why you're keeping the title on Roman, but Roman wins.
Yeah. The Rock's not beating Roman.
He doesn't necessarily need the title there either.
Because selfishly, we're going to SummerSlam, and I was like, oh, maybe they'll run back Cody Roman. No, that's not the direction at all. We're seeing Brock and Cody 3.
Which I've liked their first 2 matches, and I think if we get a
strap match,
Hell in a Cell, dog collar, something like that.
Yeah.
Could be
something violent.
I see it being, I'd love them to do the strap match. I think that would be really really cool and interesting to see Brock doing something a bit different.
Last year was the tractor.
Yeah.
So like could do something with the tractor again.
Tractor match.
They got the tractors in Detroit, right?
Of course.
Probably. Yeah. Rock possibly versus Roman at WrestleMania, which like, the match I don't really care about, but it'll bring a lot of interest from wrestling fans.
It's the spectacle. I want the entrances. I want the stare down.
Yeah.
That's all you need with some matches.
I want The Rock to bring back the Hollywood
intro
and theme and be like, I want him to cut promos, be like, I was in huge movies like Black Adam. I want him to like ham it up and heal it up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be the direction they go, but yeah.
Bloodline story continues this week with Jey Uso. Is he in? Is he out? He kind of said to Heyman that, well, if I'm going to be in the Bloodline, that means you got to be out of it. So kind of giving Roman an ultimatum there. And then we had Jey facing Austin Theory for the US title, and Jimmy inadvertently costing him the match.
Come on, Jimmy.
With a super kick.
That's your brother, man.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Yeah, I think I said last week, I might be the only person who's just not into this anymore. Are we friends? Are we not friends? But you're my brother. We have to be friends. I think it's like wash, rinse, repeat, like constantly. And having a match with Austin Theory, definitely I went, no thanks. So like, I think I'm on my own island here of relevancy, but like definitely not feeling it the same way as maybe other people. What is the match now?
It's again, like, I imagine you're going for the tag match, but I kind of feel I am still into it. I still think, really thinking about it, it's still the best story in wrestling right now across the board. I guess. I don't think there's any. What other stories are going on right now? There is a lack of stories. We're getting good matches and good. There's no like. Okay, we're getting Danielson, Okada, and
stories.
But story-wise, I think this is still probably the best one.
It was,
and I think the problem is everything else around it feels so flat. So it does feel like every Friday I watch this show called The Bloodline.
Yeah,
and we're in that kind of, if this was a 24 episode season, we're at that like episode 13 to 18 bit where we're treading water a bit before we get things cooking.
Yeah.
I like Jay's like new attitude this week, like being a bit more kind of carefree and looking less conflicted and head in hands about everything.
Just every week he just always has a headache. Someone's got to give him some Advil.
But yeah, I am kind of into the tag match.
That would be the bigger match. I know people are like, oh, get Jimmy versus Roman, right? Is what people are assuming, but I think the tag match makes more sense and would be pretty good considering the talent involved. But
like Jimmy versus Roman, you could maybe do at Money in the Bank and then do the tag at SummerSlam. It's whether you like Roman not defending the title at SummerSlam. Yeah. Is that a bit odd? Or you could do, if you wanted to do a big, like if there's a Friday they really want to get a big number, doing Jimmy and Roman on SmackDown, perhaps.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I'm definitely over the like, are we friends? Are we still friends? It's like, okay, it's been going on for months and it was real good. You compared it to a TV show. Yeah, it's soap opera levels of the guy's still in the hospital. We're still figuring things out. It's like, guys, the bulk of it was months and months ago, and it's like now you're just recycling it. And it's like, okay, it's a little stale, but you are right. What other, like, as far as wrestling and feuds and great in-ring matches and talent, but storylines right now are lacking.
The only other thing that is close is, I guess, BCC and Elite.
Yeah.
And I see saying criticisms about the Elite. Like, there are a lot of people who love the Elite, just like the Bloodline, but there are a lot of people as well who are like, I don't care if Hangman's their friend or not. Like,
I'm at that level.
I've been watching this since, being the Elite before AEW even started.
Yeah.
And are they, aren't they? Like,
well, see, the way they booked it is when finally Hangman and Kenny like are friends again. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
And then they had the match and they lost because they're dealing with things. And then right away, it's like, actually, Kenny doesn't give a fuck about you guys because he's got a big match. So it's like, well, then, all right. Well, that's a little backwards, but okay. So I'm not as much as an Elite guy. I'm definitely cooled off on that story because I'd rather get to Kenny's singles matches and stuff.
I mean, this is always going to be the problem this time of year, where this BCC Elite story absolutely hasn't finished, and I do assume we're getting blood and guts at some point. At this point, I assume it's after Forbidden Door, but it's weird when you're telling like two feuds at the same time, and with Kenny facing Osprey at Forbidden Door, which isn't related to this feud at all.
It's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, I'd say storylines right now in wrestling, I'm not too invested, but there still is like great wrestling, and I'm sure it'll pick up.
I want to get to July. You know, like that's when I'm.
Yeah.
I mean, Forbidden Door, I'm excited for.
But
like, I feel like July onwards, you know, you'll have Punk settled there. You'll be finishing off this Elite feud. You're building to Wembley. You're building to Chicago. You're building to SummerSlam. It feels like that's what we need. We're still in that kind of post WrestleMania limbo sort of thing, post Double or Nothing limbo.
I feel that way too.
Well, outside of weekly wrestling TV, we had another Dark Side of the Ring episode, and this time covering Magnum TA.
Yeah, I love Dark Side of the Ring. Easily some of the best shows. Like wrestling fans, non-wrestling fans, everyone's watching this show, and I again love this episode. It wasn't my favorite one, but I still really got into it. Magnum TA, like this whole episode is about like a what if scenario. Like this guy should have been a big deal. This guy should have, you know, brought another company to the forefront, but crazy car crash stopped all that. And basically what some say in interviews from this episode, kind of changing the course of Vince once again, like taking over and running wild with Hulkamania. And this guy could have been like their main attraction, main guy. And it was a pretty like insightful episode, especially having him, you know, now, you know, talking. It was very like, oh man, like what if? And I feel like as much as I would never listen to a Jim Cornette podcast in 2023, I love him on Dark Side of the Ring. The guy was there he knew all these people, whether it was last week's, like this guy just knows everything in wrestling.
He's so much more likable and interesting to listen to when you can hear he personally cares about a human being. You know, that he has got that personal thing, and he does like say like all his rants are because he cares about wrestling and his vision of what wrestling should be. So all these guys that he kind of thinks should have been the shit, like you saw it with Candido last week, just really cut up. I agree, he's been very good on this season. He always
I loved him in all the other episodes from the past seasons, but yeah, this show is awesome. It's like this one, it's sad because it's like this guy got in a car accident. He didn't die in the car accident, but it, you know, paralyzed him. He was not able to wrestle after this. So it's like also super depressing and super sad because it's like, oh man, like what could have been. But that's what this whole show is about, right?
But also like I found it like he was lucky compared to other people. He walked out, like showing him walking out at the event, and like he's still like he's still alive. He's still with us today, and you know, got a new partner and family and stuff. So obviously it could have been, this guy could have been Hulk Hogan essentially, but
the good looking dude, great stash,
looks like Tom Selleck.
I mean, that was the best part. Like, sorry, I did not need someone to ever tell me why do they call that guy Magnum TA, because he's got the mustache. So they finally talked about that too.
I didn't dislike this episode, but I can't say I really enjoyed it much. I don't know a whole lot of Magnum TA, but I know, like, basically I know the story that he was going to be huge. People were looking at him as being a Hogan, and he got into a car accident and never wrestled again.
It's really sad.
And I can't really say I learned anything more than that in this episode, just stretched out over 45 minutes. And for people, a lot of non-wrestling fans do watch this show, and it will be like new to them. I didn't find this quite as compelling.
No, it's because it wasn't as, because there was a happier ending. Not, you know, because he's alive and he's here to tell a story. This show is about the dark, the bad stuff. So that's probably why. I still really enjoyed it, but not one of my favorite ones. Mostly because we're just psycho wrestling fans who want to watch something about the worst possible shit ever. Like, this guy didn't kill anyone. He wasn't in the mob. What? Boring.
No one cut his brakes.
Like what's going on? What do you mean? Because, like, you know, we're talking about the passing of the Iron Sheik. Like, people always talk about, like, Gagne. Did he ask the Sheik to break Sorry, no, yeah, Hulk Hogan's leg and all that stuff like that. That's some juicy shit, stuff like that. This guy's like, he got in a car accident and he doesn't wrestle anymore. He could have been a big deal in wrestling. It's like, yeah, true, but I love this show, but it was not my favorite episode. But we'll continue to watch every week. Love it.
So we've got the Graham Dynasty next week.
See, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah.
At all, so I will definitely be watching. We'll talk about it.
You know who else could have been a big deal in wrestling? Ryback. Have you been following the Ryback stuff this week?
Oh, I don't know. Be careful what you tweet about Ryback. He vanity searches like a mother. He's been reaching out to podcasts. We get him on if you want.
Yeah.
He's been offering his 5 minutes to speak out.
Tell his story.
Yeah, because he's been feuding with Booker T.
Yeah.
I don't know why they've been feuding, but
yeah, like
does Booker T know who Ryback is?
Booker. So like, Ryback was going off. I think Booker on his show like just said like, this guy talks like he's been in the business for 1,000 years. He was there for like 3 years. He's done fuck all.
Yeah,
it's true. And then Ryback was like, like you won't let me have my piece. So Booker invites him on, and then he's like, actually, nah, I don't want you.
I kind of clowned him. Yeah,
it's funny.
Nothing ever clowned him as much as like, hey guys, here's a Twitter poll. What should I do? Go to AEW, go back to WWE, go to TNA, retire? Like everyone voted, just retire, bro.
I don't think this guy hasn't worked a single match since.
And did
leaving,
he legally changed his name to Ryback? Right?
Yeah,
he's like going the warrior route here.
Yeah,
Ryback.
Yeah,
remember Ryback?
I can't. Can you believe like this guy? He did wrestle outside WWE since, but not since 2018. I just can't believe this guy and Bryan Danielson like rode together.
That's a whole Dark Side of the Ring right
there. What was that network show, Ride Along or whatever?
Yeah.
That's what I needed to see.
Just these two. Ryback talking about meat.
Although he is vegan now, isn't he?
He's vegan now?
Yeah.
Oh shit. And Danielson's not.
No, that's true.
They switched back and forth there. Yeah, Ryback. I can't say I want to see him back in wrestling. And
just a Rumble spot.
A Rumble spot. Yeah, sure, why not?
We didn't get that Booker T Kofi moment I think we were meant to have at the Rumble.
So now switch it over
Booker T and Ryback.
Yeah. That's
as long as Steve Blackman and Bob Holly are in it as well, I'm happy.
Remember, Ryback, he would have had a way more successful career if he just stayed as Skip Sheffield. What yep, what'd it do?
The what if with Ryback is if Cena wasn't injured.
Cena wasn't injured.
Because that was it. Like you were getting Cena versus Punk. I think Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And then but Punk obviously had his match with Rock kind of penciled in for the Rumble. So Cena was taken out with an injury and Ryback was the hottest thing, so they put him in, but then he had to lose.
Ryback was the hottest thing. Wow.
He was.
He was.
So yeah, that's a good big what if.
I remember him on Tough Enough when he was the Silverback Ryan Reeves. That's his real name.
Yeah.
That's a way better wrestling name than anything else you used, but okay. They wanted to own a name, so he went with Ryback. But his gimmick on that was like he ate everything. So then what should be your catchphrase? I don't know. Feed me more. So they went with that.
It was a good catchphrase.
It was pretty funny. Feed me more. We have a Ryback. Where's your Ryback?
Where's
my figure?
Ryback?
Oh, it's in the garbage.
What?
Yeah, no. Threw it out. I gave it away.
No.
Yeah. Ryback just running his mouth is always funny.
Anything else to talk about this
I
week?
want to give a shout out to the Motor City Machine Guns. I don't watch Impact Wrestling, but I saw that not only did Chris Sabin win back the X Division Championship for I think an 8th time or something like that. I guess so. And then in a bit of an upset, a shocker, Alex Shelley is now the Impact World Champion.
Yeah.
So yeah, throw your hands up and point to the what is it? The hand? What is it? Machine? Because it looks like Michigan, right? That they point like.
So
that.
Michigan looks like a hand, and Detroit's right.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So the Motor City Machine Guns are both single champions in Impact Wrestling, and you know what? That is actually pretty cool. I absolutely love Motor City Machine Guns. I love Chris Sabin and I love Alex Shelley. But specifically Shelley, he's been someone I've been watching for so long. And for any TNA fans, Paparazzi Productions was just my favorite thing. You would love it with him and Kevin Nash. The angle they used to do and the promos and stuff was so good. And he's their champion now. And
I'm surprised they
cool.
took it off of Macklin so soon, because they were building Macklin up for a good year for this like title win.
And I'll tell you something, I don't watch Impact, but we went to that show and all I could ever going into it, everyone, oh, this Macklin guy. I was like, yeah, he was there, he was fine. So yeah, that's why you should have taken it off.
I wonder if it's Impact are piggybacking off of SummerSlam at all.
They're doing
being in Detroit, having two big Detroit champions there.
Would have been good to have them win in Detroit.
In there, yeah.
But they're doing Windsor soon or something, and at some college or something. But it would be smart for them to do a show in Detroit. But yeah, I mean, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, clearly they would have signed with AEW if they did not do this deal with Impact. I know those guys do other things outside of wrestling as well, so it's easily a easier schedule for them. But they've been in this business for a long, long time, and like definitely are trailblazers. If you look, like so many the Bucks, right? Like so many people came after them and kind of stole their steez a little bit. So I am happy for Shelley, kind of, because Sabin's won the world title there before. They gave him a shot, and now Shelley kind of getting his moment as well. So I definitely, it makes me go, hey, what's the next pay-per-view? What are some of the title defenses? Because it has the most interest instantly that I can say in Impact, like since, I don't know, AEW was teasing doing shit with them. So definitely they should win the tag titles too. Just win all the gold and be the Motor City Machine Gun champions. But yeah, that's pretty cool over in Impact.
All right. That it?
I think so.
All right. Okay.
What else is going on in wrestling? There's a whole lot going on in a few weeks with Forbidden Door, and I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see those two matches and whatever else is added to that show, because I don't really know what else you could add to make us more excited.
Let's plug it all again. Forbidden Pour from 3 p.m. Yeah, 3 p.m.
Yeah.
I think we're hosting so many events these days, guys. Postwrestling.com/live. Get your tickets before they're all gone. Also, All In It coming up in August. Sign up to our Patreon, patreon.com/Poisonrana.
Yes, patreon.com/Poisonrana. It's only $5 for a whole month's access, and you get everything that we put out this month and everything that we put out in the back catalog there, meaning all the retro NXT reviews, pay-per-view reviews, best matches ever, all those podcasts, and everything coming out this month. We just did a best match ever Sabu. We did a Suicide Squad review, like we said, and we have a What's Next coming out this week, and we have a lot of other shows. Oh, we're doing Midsummer,
yeah.
This
have you
month.
Seen this film?
Yeah. I love it. Featuring Paige.
It is, yeah.
Florence Pugh.
Pugh.
Love her in that movie. So lots of stuff over at the Patreon. It's only $5, and that's how we create our content with you fine folks listening and supporting us, and we can't do it without you. So thank you. Even if you're just listening to this, you like free shows, well, we will be back on Tuesday on the Post Wrestling feed covering this huge NXT with Seth and Braun. But then also you like free shows on this feed, obviously Shot in the Dark with John Cena. And I know you'll be hearing a lot of him in the near future. There's also What Up Doe. He put out one with B Detroit. And The Batman. Me and you are going to be chatting all about our bats this coming week. So get your feedback in for that if you haven't already. Oh, how could we forget a show that we got to thank you, Chris Elliott, in the chat. Here I am plugging some big Patreon shows. We know we're going to get people joining our Patreon because we did a poll.
Oh, yes.
On the Facebook. And you asked everyone, hey, Money in the Bank's coming up. Here's a bunch of Money in the Banks to vote for.
Yeah.
And of course, anyone from Chicago, I see you, Jake, voting for Money in the Bank 2011. But you randomly decided no.
Tom Wamsgams made the decision early. He called the election early. You can blame ATN for this.
Yeah.
Because Vengeance 2006.
We're doing it, guys.
We're doing it.
Yeah. What's broke?
Fuck Money in the Bank.
Cena.
I want Sabu Cena.
Yeah, come on.
Kane v. Kane.
Kane versus Kane. So I would love some feedback on that. We're doing that in a few weeks.
Yeah. That's in a couple of weeks. Do check out our interview with Mercedes Martinez. That video's going up tomorrow. I think it's all going to be on the Post Wrestling site. Really enjoyed that chat. So I think you'll get a kick out of that interview.
Yeah, I think we want to do some more interviews in the future and stuff over on this feed. So let us know what people's you would like to do. Are you got another one coming up this month?
Hopefully this week. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. So definitely follow this space. Follow us on the socials at Poisonrana Pod on Twitter and Instagram. If you have those apps, go follow us. We don't have many followers on our new Instagram since it got taken down and made a new one. So go 300 people. That's it. I know you use it.
Pathetic.
I think it's like 3 something. But go follow us if you haven't already. And I myself, Braden Herrington, you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at the Brady.
And I'm at Davie Portman.
That's it. That's all. Thank you everyone for tuning in and everyone in the YouTube chat as well. I love you, love you, love you. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And rest in peace, the Iron Sheik. Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Bubba.
Ahoy!
Poisonrana.